Yes guys, welcome back to the JackC99 Vlogs YouTube channel guys, and it is league predictions time for the Scottish Championship of the 25-26 season. It's a massive favour guys, make sure you like, subscribe, enable notifications which notifies you every single time I upload a YouTube video on the YouTube channel guys. And we are currently 180 subs away from my dad's 1k sub goal. Hope everyone can help out with that goal guys, I'd really appreciate it. As you can see by the badge, starting off I've went with Queen's Park. Now Queen's Park have been a really strange team because I've actually watched them at Spartans in the Cup. They look a really good side, but I just don't think they're going to do any better than what they have done recently. This season's going to be where we actually see Queen's Park go back down into Scottish League 1. Why do I think that? I don't think they've got the physical mentality to actually progress up the league. I don't think they've got the strength in their squad to actually do that. I mean, I know nothing about their new manager. Queen's Park are a team that I've seen having very bad ups and downs, bearing in mind they sacked 2 managers in one season, I think. The managers that they've actually sacked have been Callum Davidson after getting gubbed off Falkirk 6-0 at Hampden Park, Glasgow last season, which was the end of Callum Davidson. And then Stephen McLean came in and he didn't last long either. I think he either got sacked. What you remember, managers don't last long in Scottish football, and when you look at the Scottish football pyramid, how that works as well, it's strange how they make the leagues how they are at the moment, because you've got the Highland League, you've got the Scottish Championship, Scottish League 1, 2, Scottish Premiership. The way the pyramid works is crazy because it's kind of hard how you actually work out how Scottish football works half the time. Teams like Queen's Park are a team that I think are just going to finish at the bottom of the league because I think they're going to really struggle, because teams like St Johnstone, Ross County, who were recently relegated at the end of last season, and teams like Neil Lennons Dunfermline, Raith Rovers, Partick Thistle, they could cause all sorts of problems for Queen's Park. Up next is number 9 in the Scottish Championship, and I've went with Airdrieonians, who have kind of been, yet again, another team who were lucky last season to avoid going down. They just managed to beat Cove Rangers, they managed to stay up, they managed to hold on to their Scottish Championship hopes. They're a team that need to watch this season, and I think they're really going to struggle again. They are a team that have also, like Queen's Park, had ups and downs. They really struggled last season, and if it wasn't for Hamilton Academical last season getting points deducted, Airdrieonians would have been down. At the same time, it is a really competitive league, and I don't think Airdrieonians, Queen's Park, have got the strength to cope with that. And I know that they've had good players over the seasons. Last season was a close call. They almost did go down, and if it wasn't for Hamilton Academical getting points deduction, Dunfermline basically, they were lucky as well. Airdrieonians are very lucky. They don't know how lucky they are still to be in the Championship after last season. On to 8th place, and I have went with Arbroath. Newly promoted side Arbroath. Now, League 1, they done well. They got where they wanted to be. They wanted to get back up into the Scottish Championship. They have achieved that. The Scottish Championship is the most competitive league in Scottish football. It's different for League 1, League 2. It's a different league for League 1. It is going to be more of a challenge for Arbroath. And I know the last time that they got promoted into the Scottish Championship, they ended up getting to the opposite end of the table, getting to the top of the league. But they ended up losing the title, and it was Kilmarnock that ended up going up into the Premiership, and they came very close. But then the next again season, they struggled and they just went flying down to rock bottom. It's interesting how the league works for Scottish football, and it is very interesting how it works in the Scottish Championship. Most competitive league. They're going to be coming up against different oppositions, teams that have been building very well. The likes of Dunfermline, they've been busy in the window. So's Raith Rovers, so's Greenock Morton. Both are a good side. They've done very well last season, getting automatic promotion. The question is, can they do well in the league? I think they can, but I just think 8th is going to be their highest position after coming up. The question is, how far can each team get? What can your team achieve in the Scottish Championship? That's the question. If there's any Arbroath fans out there, let me know your thoughts on your team. Let me know where you think they'll finish. And I have went with Greenock Morton. Now this is quite interesting actually, because the reason I've went with Greenock Morton, I just think they're a team that lurk around that part of the table. That made me get a bit questionable because they have a good manager, good sets of players. They're a really good team as well. And seeing a team like that from Glasgow, of course, it's just a shame to see a team like Greenock Morton, who has good sets of players, good manager. And the reason I've put Greenock Morton seventh is, like I said just at the start, they work around that bit of mid-table. They didn't seem to get high enough. They don't seem to achieve a lot in the league because, like I said, competitive league in Scottish football, it has been for the past 7 or 8 seasons. So up next is recently relegated side Ross County, the Dingwall club. Now this is going to be an interesting one, why I've put Ross County 6th. Quite interesting, quite reasonable if you ask me, because I don't think they're going to achieve what they achieved the past few times when they got relegated, going back up straight away. It's a different league now, it's all changed. You've got Neil Lennons Dunfermline. There's just not a chance I see Ross County achieving what they have in the past when being in the Championship. Going up straight away, trying to do that, I just don't think they're going to be able to cope with the pressure in the league this time round. Because, like I say, it's all changed. It's a totally different league now, and there's going to be every team wanting to challenge for that title. Teams in the Scottish Championship that have been there for a long time now, and they'll be wanting to just get out of that league, come back up. That's what they'll be wanting to earn as a team. Ross County, yeah, they'll be wanting to achieve it as well, but I just think there's going to be bigger teams in that league that are going to pose a threat and stop Ross County for getting the league title at the first time you ask it. Because I've seen Ross County play in the Premiership, they're not really that strong a squad. Yes, they've done well in the summer transfer window, but they have lost a lot of good players as well. Players that can help them out, they've departed. It might be a bit of a loss for them as well. I think they're really going to struggle without those players. I think that's going to also affect their form a wee bit. That's just my honest opinion about the two clubs. They're not the best clubs in Scotland, averagely. I just don't see them getting any higher than 6th. But Ross County fans, let me know your thoughts. Right, on to 5th place, and I have went with the other team that got relegated for the Scottish Premiership automatically, and we go to St Johnstone. So St Johnstone, I am going with 5th. Like I say, it's the same situation as Ross County. I see them probably in the same situation, struggling, even though they've signed players like Stevie Mallon as well. They've also lost one of their good players, Stevie May. He's went to Livingston on a permanent. They've not really added that well, St Johnstone, because Stevie Mallon, he's been out the game for a while, so you're looking at that and saying that's not really that good a signing. Maybe back in the day when he was a Hibs player, yeah, he was a good player. I've not really seen Stevie Mallon do that well. Yes, he has came back for a really horrific injury. How he will play that game when he comes back, how he will perform under St Johnstone. The question is, yes, he has been at the game for a while. He has took a while to get back to his fitness again. Question is, can he keep himself fit for a whole season? He's only signed a 1-year deal, but at the same time, you never know. Coming back from an injury that he suffered like that, to then playing, how long can he stay fit for in a season? Yeah, he did have a couple of injuries at Hibs, if I remember rightly, but 4th place, and I have went with Partick Thistle, another Glasgow team. Partick Thistle, who have got a new manager as well, so it's going to take a while, because as they say, when you get a new manager, it takes a while to bed in the new players that they've signed. It also takes a while for a new manager just to get the team playing how he wants and how he wants the team to be. Partick Thistle were a good side. They were really unlucky in the playoffs last season. They were so close to going up, in my opinion, if you ask me, because, I mean, Livingston, they've lost their captain, Brian Graham. That's, to me, that is a huge loss, like Partick Thistle, because he was really good for them and he helped them through thick and thin as a player. And when he was a Hibs player, he was brilliant as well. He went from Hibs to Partick Thistle. He's still got that talent. He's went to Falkirk. He's obviously wanted to play in the Premiership. That's noticeable. That's understandable. The question is, how much is it going to affect Partick Thistle's form as a club without Brian Graham? I still think fourth is a good place for Partick Thistle because that's where they finished basically the last 3 or 4 seasons now. The question is, they might get higher, but I'm just being honest and putting them fourth because that's where I've seen them finish quite a lot lately, and they've done well as a club with Brian Graham because Brian Graham was a player coach last season, I think. Third place in the Scottish Championship, and it is Ayr United, Scott Brown's Ayr United. And the reason I have put Scott Brown's Ayr United third is that's in the region where they finished last season. Why do I think they'll finish there again this season? I just think they'll drop a bit in form this season. I don't think they'll have the same strength as last season. Don't get me wrong, they started last season amazing. Scott Brown had them in a good position. They were top of the league for a while, and then they kind of went positive and just went on a downward spiral for some reason, which I was a bit speechless at actually, because they started the season with a really strong composure as a team, and they started very well, and that's what I don't get. They done really well. They managed to make it hard for Falkirk last season. They held on to first place for a while, and eventually they just dropped. And I was really hoping for Scott Brown to get Ayr United back up last season. And it was all down to that heavy defeat at the Setfair Arena where Livingston actually bet Ayr United 5-0. That's why I put Ayr United third. But let me know your thoughts, Ayr United fans. We're into second place, and I've went with Raith Rovers. Barry Robson's Raith Rovers. Now, typical one, I've seen how Raith have played pre-season wise in the Cup. They're a hard team to predict, but this season, the reason I've put them second is they've actually showed what they're worth as a squad for pre-season through the Cup. They've not really done that good in the Cup group stage. Like, they have actually showed how different they're playing compared to last season. The question is, who are the players that stand out good for Raith Rovers? Dylan Easton, Paul Hanlon, Lewis Stevenson, Scott Brown. Not the Ayr United manager, before you say. Lewis Stevenson and Paul Hanlon used to be Hibs players. The longest servants for Hibs. Very good defender, very good. I think Lewis Stevenson did play midfield now and again. They were very good stalwarts at Hibs. They achieved a lot with Hibs. They won the Scottish Cup. Lewis Stevenson was the only Hibs player to win the Scottish Cup and Scottish League Cup, which is now named the Premier Sports Cup. So they could help Raith Rovers to anything because they were a huge part of Hibs' promotion back to the Premiership. Neil Lennons was manager, and you've just got to look at the players. They're good signings for Raith Rovers, no matter what anybody says. You look at what they achieved at Hibs. They played at Hibs as young teenagers, and they left Hibs when they were in their 30s, and they still show what they have as players is amazing. I think them playing for Raith Rovers is a good place for them because it's a good club. I think the last time I was there was when we actually played Raith Rovers when we were playing them in a Scottish Cup game. Good ground. But having players like Hanlon and Stevenson in your team, that is going to make... This has to be the season where Raith Rovers go for it and challenge for the title. Didn't just let teams like Ayr United or Partic Thistle or somebody like that to steal it away from them, and then they have to go through the playoffs again, and we know how that went the last time. Like I said, Raith Rovers have came close a lot when it comes to a title race. The question is, I think this is going to be the season where it's between both the Fife teams. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think it's going to be between both the Fife teams this season, and I think it's going to be between Neil Lennons Dunfermline and Barry Robson's Raith Rovers. But I'm putting Raith Rovers second because I think they might just lose the title race by a few points. That's all I'm saying. Barry Robson, he is a manager that can kind of let it slip a few times, and I've seen that as an Aberdeen manager. He has actually let it slip, and that's what ended up on getting sacked as manager. No saying that'll happen at Raith Rovers. He's built well, he's got a good team there, good set of players, and that's why I put him second. It is Dunfermline. That's the whole point of me talking about why I think the title race will be between both the Fife teams, Raith Rovers and Dunfermline. Kirkcaldy, Vance Dunfermline. That's how I see it going. Neil Lennons Dunfermline, they've been very, very, very busy this summer window. They've been very busy building, and they're still signing players. They're still signing players, which I'm surprised that you've got Owen Cooper. Owen Cooper was the most recent one. So, and I've actually seen him in action. I think he's going to be a really good young, talented player. They've had a good Premier Sports Group Stage Cup run. They sit second in their group. Hearts above them at the moment. That's only because Hearts absolutely demolished them and annihilated them. Neil Lennon wasn't happy, but there you go. Neil Lennon can't keep his anger to himself because that's just how Neil Lennon is, everybody. Neil Lennon likes to win. Neil Lennon likes to get trophies. That's just what Neil Lennon is about. I've seen it as a Celtic manager. I've seen it as a Hibs manager. And he only won that many trophies as a Hibs manager, the championship title. And that's where it comes to me putting Dunfermline first. I think Neil Lennon can most definitely achieve getting the championship title. If he can do it with Hibs, he can do it with Dunfermline. Mark my word, in all occasions on this. The guy knows how to win trophies. He knows how to win league titles. He's done it with Celtic. He's done it with Hibs. Only it was the championship title. He's won that many trophies as a Celtic football player and as a Celtic manager. And he's only won one piece of silverware with Hibs. Still a manager that will guide you to what he wants. His first full season as Hibs manager, when we were still in the championship for the third season in a row, that was when Neil Lennon achieved on getting us the championship title and getting us back to where we belong. That's what he is capable of doing, Dunfermline fans. And I want to know your thoughts on Neil Lennon as manager. I want to know your thoughts on the signings that Neil Lennon has made. Do you think this will help you get back into the Premiership? Would you like to see your team back in the Premiership? Do you think Neil Lennon will do that? How far do you think Neil Lennon can get Dunfermline in the Premier Sports Cup? Even the Scottish Cup as well. There is a lot of stuff up for grabs. Even the Scottish Challenge Cup as well. I just think Neil Lennon's going to do a good job this season because he needs a full season to achieve what he wants to achieve. Last season, he came in halfway through the season. Towards the later stages of the season, as it was about to finish. The thing is, this is where it changes. He needs a full season to get Dunfermline to achieve what he wants them to achieve. There's a good fan base at East End Park. A good ground as well. I've been a few times. There is a few matchday vlogs for last season. Go and check them out. I think Neil Lennon will get Dunfermline up. It would be amazing to see Dunfermline back in the Scottish Premiership again. Let me know your thoughts, Dunfermline fans, because I think Dunfermline can actually do it this season. I think they can. I think they're favourites this time. They've got a good manager with good experience that has done it before with recent clubs. Celtic, Hibernian. The question is, how will he do it? How will he go about doing it as well? Neil Lennon, I just wish him luck, especially if you're a Hibs fan. I wish Dunfermline luck next season. I think the new players are going to gel in really, really well, and I think they're going to do very good in the Scottish Championship, and I think they're going to be favourites to win the title, and that's why I put Dunfermline top of the league. And I think the title battle is going to be between Kirkcaldy side Raith Rovers and Neil Lennon's Dunfermline. Dunfermline are going to be the team that basically probably go unbeaten in the derbies, hopefully. And that is what will get Dunfermline, aka the Pars, the league title as well. Just starting very strong and finishing strong. Just like that, guys, that is my league predictions for the Scottish Championship 2025-26 season. Let me know your thoughts on your teams that compete in this league. Let me know your thoughts on how your team will do. And Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for watching. Guys, before this video ends, make sure to like, subscribe, enable notifications, which notifies you every single time I upload a YouTube video to the YouTube channel. The next vlog on this YouTube channel, match day vlog wise, will be the second leg of the European match at Easter Road, Thursday next week, 8 o'clock kickoff. That will be my next match day vlog. And apart from that, guys, thank you for watching. I've been your host, JackC99 Vlogs, and I will catch you guys next time.